That's interesting because they're going to look at the contingency plans of who the people will fall for.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing that I definitely wanted to mention was that I think what we really need to focus on is the younger members of this group. I mean, David Rockefeller's 96, Kissinger's in his mid-70s in a wheelchair. So, I'm really focused on the younger generation of Bilderberg attendees who are most likely going to be taking this plan for world government forward as some of these older globalists eventually croak out.
That's an excellent point because they need new people to keep following it all. So just for folks, I'll take it back to the top. We are talking to Alex Thomas of the IntelHub.com on the scene in Chantilly, Virginia, covering Bilderberg 2012, and you can hear all the ruckus in the background. I think that is the one and only Alex Jones bullhorning. How many people would you say are there, Alex?
I would say about 150 to 200 right now.
Wow.
Actually, most of the people are a little down the road here. The front of the Westfield Marriott is where we've been the entire time, but about 5 minutes before you called, we moved down to the fence where we could see the hotel. And now we have 150 people screaming in the Fed at the hotel. So, it'd be nice to actually not be locked out, but as far as with all these fences, about all we can do is kind of let them know we know they're here and, do what we can to expose the attendees.
So
yeah, you're getting live coverage. Sorry about all the noise there. But
no, it's great. It's great. I love it. Who are some of the other folks that you see on the attendees list that maybe raise eyebrows?
On the list that I saw, the governor of Indiana, Mitch Daniels, who, I'm not too pro-union, but he's definitely been a big union buster and essentially a fascist. So he's here violating the Logan Act. Senator John Kerry is here, Skull and Bones. We caught Kevin Warsh on a photograph looking very angry that he was getting a photo taken of him, and he's a visiting fellow at Stanford University and a former member of the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve. We also identified Fu Yang, who is the Vice Foreign Minister of China, covering her face. So, we have some Chinese Bilderberg attendees definitely inside right now. Heather Reisman from Indigo Books and Music in Canada. So, they have her here so they can make sure no anti-New World Order or Truth Books get in the biggest book retail store in Canada. And then we have Alison Redford, who's the premier of Alberta, Canada. And, there's quite a few on the list. Right now I have about 15 photos that are really very clear, but we don't know who they are. I don't really know what all these globalists exactly look like. So we're hoping later on Charlie Skelton is planning on coming to the hotel, helping us identify some of them, and then maybe even using some of our pictures in The Guardian. So we're definitely looking forward to it.
That's fantastic. Isn't it really amazing how so much of this grew out of what were just the nuts talking about 9/11? And now it reaches the point to where the mainstream can't avoid it, and that people going away to secret meetings where if they were proud of it and proud of the work that they do, they wouldn't be hiding their faces. I think all this...
absolutely.
It's a testament to what, it's been all derisively called, truthers.
Absolutely. And, another thing I might add is out of the 20 clear photos that we got, one of the main ones that I forgot to mention was I think it's Chang Li. He's he deals with China with the Brookings Institute, so I think that was a big member as well. But besides 3 people, all the rest that we identified were from a different country than here. So what we believe is that most of the U.S. Participants went in through a back way that no one could really even see them.
Maybe we'll have to run some of those photos through, Facebook's biometrics, and we can discover who they are.
That's what I was talking about. Yeah, I made a joke to Jason Burmis yesterday. I wish you were a Mossad agent so we could use their system to identify these Bilderbergers.
Oh yeah, that's right. And and I'm gonna be back on with that Zionist shill Bob Tuskin. See, and a lot of these things I think come from that sort of left mainline left mentality that it's always attacking. I don't think you're punk. You're not a vegetarian, so we're all going to battle each other and not get along. It's classic divide and conquer.
And one of the things about getting here has been, it's been very clear that most conspiracy theories about any of these people, even Alex Jones to a certain extent, have essentially just been pure garbage the entire time. We meet up with Jason Burmis at the hotel in D.C., and he's got $40 to his name, but we have thousands of people who think he's a crazy Mossad agent. So it's just very refreshing to be here with all real activists. People like yourself who are actually trying to do stuff rather than just attack. So it's been refreshing in that, because I have been down a lot, and just seeing so much of the attack on truthers back and forth. So I definitely feel like I've made some great contacts here. Charlie Skelton, we got a really big interview with him, and like I said, some of the stuff we printed in the Guardian would be the biggest thing that's happened to the Intel Hub. So I'm very excited.
That's fantastic. That is fantastic. And again, it's all about making those connections. And when alternative media does this kind of work, it makes the mainstream media, the Guardian or otherwise, it makes them take notice. I wouldn't say.
Absolutely. And another thing we should add is the security here. Something like NATO, you're seeing riot police everywhere, but we just don't have that here. We have about 85, because, riot police would equal more media coverage. So they've got about 85 Fairfax County taxpayer-funded police openly guarding the Bilderberg. I've talked to many cops. I'm trying to explain to them that they're stealing their pensions as well, but we're really running into a group of what seems to be drones. Yeah, and I got a bullhorn. I had to come right next to me. Sorry about that.
Is that unidentified bullhorner?
Oh, sorry. Say that again?
Was it just an unidentified bullhorner?
Oh, yeah, just inactivists. But some of the people that apparently some of these other activists just showed up with about a dozen pizzas. So everyone's getting ready to eat pizza down here. So I'm seeing a real big outpour of support for everyone. The other tough thing about this is there is literally no bathroom unless you walk a mile where everyone had to park. So it's been real rugged on that. I was seeing lots of people trek back up the mile hill to do that. And, you can't stop in front of here to drop people off, or you get pulled over. They've given over 15 tickets for people trying to drop people off in the front. So, yeah, it's kind of difficult. Once you get down here, you don't really want to go back to your car until you're leaving.
What would you say to folks who say that, again, and even folks who would sort of align themselves in the alternative media, that this is the turnout isn't that good, or that this isn't a worthwhile activity?
Well, I would say that it's basically guaranteed that this is the biggest turnout for a Bilderberg meeting ever. And there's 500 people in the Swift Alps last year. Yesterday, there was at least 500. Some of the video I shot was a little misleading as far as how many people were there. I wasn't really thinking about that. And, there's basically double the amount of people behind me that I'm filming in front of me. So I feel like it was a great turnout. Also, it's Friday afternoon. A lot of people have to work. So tomorrow's big rally set for 1 p.m. Eastern. Everyone here in the alternative media is trying to promote it and get people here believe that tomorrow will be the biggest day. Yeah, at the end of the day, it is sad. We should have 15,000 people out here shutting this road down. But, we definitely should have more people out here. But at the same time, it's the biggest, the most exposure Bilderberg has had in its existence.
And you guys at theintelhub.com and some of your related folks, you guys have basically been doing press junkets. You have been on kind of show after show after show, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. We've done probably 16 radio shows. We did Ground Zero Radio with Clyde Lewis in Portland last night. Before that, we were on with Jeff Rentz, and before that, we were on with Charlie McGrath. So it's definitely been a busy time. I just got done talking to a big Spanish mainstream news outlet. I was letting the reporter use my power backup that I have to charge the laptop, and we're going to be getting a big interview on Spanish TV as well here once this bullhorning side dies down a little. So, yeah, we're definitely getting more media coverage. I've done more radio in the last 2 days than I've ever done, so it's been nonstop.
Fantastic. And we've seen this slew of events from the G8 at Camp David to NATO in Chicago to now the Bilderberg meeting, and of course we have the London Olympics coming up very soon. A lot of big moves on the grand chessboard. What's your take on it?
Yeah, it does seem like there's a lot of big moves, but again, things like the London Olympics and NATO are, in my opinion, are really the public display of the police state. A public display of mass arrest because they kind of want the public to be out there. The mainstream covers it. I'm sure the London Olympics is going to be crazy police state. Whereas here, we literally have 200 people who at a normal Tea Party rally might be surrounded with riot police, with just normal Fairfax County police, no riot gear, no batons drawn, anything of the sort. So they're definitely doing everything they can here to make sure that there's the least amount of arrests and basically the least amount of things that would make the mainstream here have to cover the event.